The unconstitutional and un-American executive order attempting to eliminate birthright citizenship in America. But to hear the judge from the bench say he has never seen something so blatantly unconstitutional.
So then the Constitution needs a new amendment.
Put in hard work.
How many of you are aware of the 14th Amendment to the Constitution? As we know, President Trump has been extremely busy signing executive order after executive order. One of them is the right to citizenship, the birthright citizenship. Basically, paraphrasing it, what that means is if someone crosses the border illegally and they become pregnant while they are here, that the child has natural citizenship. But what about the mother in that example? Does she get the right to citizenship because she became pregnant while here, but she entered across the border illegally? What do you guys think? Very interested. Please drop in the comments and give me your opinions and how you feel about this issue, this birthright citizenship. Should a parent be granted citizenship because she became pregnant after she had crossed the border illegally? Think of this. When she crossed the border, she broke the law. She wasn't pregnant at that time. She got pregnant after she had already crossed the border. We know what the amendment says. But do you think that the amendment is flawed in that respect? Do you think that our forefathers or the writers of that amendment were even thinking about this? Because as we know, the 14th Amendment was created for the benefit of the freed slaves so that they could have the right to citizenship, which was correct because at that point they were freed slaves, which they had already served that sentence and made the contribution to the country that they did. So it was a right to citizenship, which took them into consideration, not that they had crossed the border illegally. What do you guys think? Again, I ask, drop in the comments. President Trump signed an executive order early this week ending birthright citizenship. Let's take a look at this video.
President Trump has been talking for a long time about changing how the government defines birthright citizenship. On Monday, he signed an executive order that says that children won't get U.S. citizenship at birth unless at least one of their parents is either a U.S. citizen or a legal permanent immigrant in the United States. That's a huge change. Ever since 1868 and the ratification of the 14th Amendment, almost everyone has been considered a U.S. citizen at birth. The exceptions have been really tiny. The children who are born to high-ranking diplomats are not considered to be U.S. citizens. A lot of legal scholars and civil rights groups say that it would take an amendment to our Constitution to change birthright citizenship. That requires that 3/4 of the states agree and 2/3 of both the House and the Senate in the U.S. Congress. It's really difficult to achieve an amendment to the Constitution that could be tried. In contrast, the Trump administration is saying that there's a clause in the 14th Amendment that people born in the United States have to be, quote, subject to the jurisdiction thereof of the United States. That's sort of the linchpin of the legal battle that's ahead. These legal cases are probably going to take a long time, and they'll likely be appealed all the way up to the Supreme Court. And then we'll see how they interpret the 14th Amendment. I think the theory that the Trump administration has is that if they deny certain immigrants access to birthright citizenship for their children, people won't want to come to the United States, whether on a temporary visa or coming illegally, that will be a deterrent.
Have any of you ever played the game of chess? I'd like to give President Trump a lot of credit in the moves that he's making so promptly, even in his first week. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you guys are aware, but President Trump began signing executive orders even at the celebration of his inauguration. How many presidents you know have signed executive orders in front of the public and the media for all of us to witness at their inauguration? That was absolutely incredible. But I think he's playing a chess move with this and getting it in very early so that the legal political football of the moment can begin very early, because I think that they all knew, including President Trump, that this issue would definitely make it all the way to the table of the Supreme Court to see how this issue with birthright citizenship would end up. So stay tuned, follow my channel, continue watching my videos. I will definitely keep you updated with this birthright citizenship issue, as I will definitely be following this. Governor DeSantis gave a good reason as to why birthright citizenship should no longer be in effect and should be ended. Let's take a look at this video.
I would take some questions. Yes, sir.
Have you gotten any update from the Senate President or House Speaker as to whether they're just going to gavel in and gavel out or actually take up some of these issues? And also wanted to hear your thoughts on the birthright citizenship executive order being struck down early on in this court battle.
Well, so on birthright citizenship, the question is not just birthright citizenship writ large. It's, do people in the country illegally that birth kids, do they get birthright citizenship? Because I would imagine the majority of people in this room got citizenship by birth. Your parents are American, you're born on American soil, you don't have to fill out paperwork, you're a citizen when you're born. That's the way, and I don't think anyone's questioning that in respect to American citizens. The issue is was the 14th Amendment written with the intent that someone could illicitly cross a border, birth a child, and then that child becomes a U.S. citizen? Clearly, that was not what they were looking to do. What they were looking to do was overturn the Dred Scott case from the 1850s, which basically Dred Scott was a freed slave, and he basically lost in court because they said you can't be a citizen because you're black. Lincoln criticized that. Lincoln ran against it. Obviously, we fought the Civil War, and then when they did the post-war amendments, 14th Amendment citizenship clause was to make clear that you couldn't discriminate on race with respect to citizenship. It was never intended to apply in situations like this. It was also a different time period, though. We didn't really even have a lot of immigration then, so they probably weren't even thinking about it.
And that's my point. And one of the things that I want you to consider is about the 14th Amendment. And it's not about birthright citizenship in general, but one of the things that you have to consider and think about is when someone crosses the border illegally, should they be given the right for citizenship at the birth of a child that is in these borders of this United States? That's the question. This law and this amendment, the 14th Amendment that was drafted many, many years ago, addressed a totally different issue that probably had no consideration of what is happening now with immigration, because there was not a lot of immigration that was happening during that time. But the thing that was big during that time was the emancipation and the free of slaves. So the amendment was appropriate. So what do you guys think? Do you think that this amendment is still applicable and should apply to illegal citizens? Do you think that this 14th Amendment should apply to illegal aliens crossing the border and having babies in these borders? Drop in the comments and let me know what you think. There was an actual judge reported by President Reagan, Judge John C. Coffiner, that actually blocked this executive order for ending birthright citizenship in the state of Washington. He's a federally appointed judge. His attorney general came out and made a statement. Let's take a look at this video.
Good morning, everyone. We came to the courthouse today to defend the United States Constitution, to defend democracy in America, and to defend what it means to be an American citizen. We are thrilled that the court saw the seriousness and the urgency of the complaints and requests for a temporary restraining order brought by the state of Washington, Oregon, Arizona, and Illinois.
Defending the Constitution, but what about also defending the citizens of the United States from these illegal aliens committing crimes?
Implementing the unconstitutional and un-American executive order attempting to eliminate birthright citizenship in America. This is step one, but to hear the judge from the bench say that in his 40 years as a judge, he has never seen something so blatantly unconstitutional sets the tone for the seriousness of this effort. I
So
want to
then the
thank all of the men
Constitution
and women
needs a new
who
amendment.
put in hard work over the
At
past
least that
year
is what I
to
think.
prepare
What do you
for
think?
something like this,
Drop in the
and who
comments.
successfully argued the case today. We have an incredible team of men and women in the Attorney General's office in the state of Washington.
President Trump, while signing executive orders, was asked by one of the journalists on his opinion with this judge, Republican appointed judge, wanted to know what was President Trump's response and his opinion to the judge blocking the executive order for birthright citizenship. Let's watch this video and see what President Trump had to say.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. President, a U.S. judge temporarily blocks the birthright citizenship order. Do you have any reaction?
No, obviously we'll appeal it. They put it before a certain judge in Seattle, I guess, right? And there's no surprises with that judge.
So far in President Trump's second term, have you noticed how calm he is, how cool he is? He seems so much in control, so confident. Nothing can rattle him. The left and the media in the left are doing their best trying to rattle him or trying to get a punchline or spin something that he says. But he is so sharp, so experienced that almost so far he can do no wrong. So again, with this issue of birthright citizenship, we see that I think he expected that it would be shot down by the left, of course, but also in the court system. So this will be a political fight as well as a legal battle that will continue on for some time. I will continue to follow this on my channel. If you are interested in this issue as well as other political issues, please follow my channel, like and subscribe, and check back often for new content. I am Rod Petway. This is the Rod Petway Show for iVision Media.